And we're back. Thank you for joining me at the Critics Clinic for your prescription for all things movie and entertainment. I wanted to take a good second to talk to you about a movie I saw actually like a week ago, but I really had to just detox and think about it. It is The Long Walk. I would say this movie's not getting a lot of publicity. It's not getting a lot of word of mouth because there's other movies out there that I feel like are overshadowing it, and I really wanted to sit down and talk about this movie for a second and talk to you about what I felt about the movie. Before we go any further, subscribe, like, comment, watch other videos, do all that fun stuff. I'm not gonna give any specific spoilers. I feel like the plot is kind of what you saw in the trailers that are out. So I'm just gonna give you kind of my honest review with my 5 categories, obviously 2 points each for a total of 10 points. I would say we're gonna start with cast and crew. Cast and crew, as you know, could make or break a film, and the cast and crew for this movie made this film what it is. I would say going into this, I'd never read the book. Obviously, it's based on a Stephen King book. And I think one of the big issues with this was how it was actually publicized. People think Stephen King, they immediately think, oh, horror film or a scary movie. And it's none of those. It's more in the realm of The Green Mile or Shawshank. It's just kind of like a period piece. That's not scary at all. It's just really it's a story about the human condition and what people do in a situation, essentially. So I'd say go into it with that. Other than that, I didn't know much more about it. The cast and crew, again, it's one of those movies that's going to take you through a ringer. I'll get to that in the plot, but I would say with the cast and crew, the standout, David Johnson. I'm going to put his face up here. He is the next big thing in Hollywood. His performance was just gut-wrenching, and you just found yourself being emotional, and it's why do I feel so much for these characters I just met? And again, just to be clear, everyone's character did this. Everyone was on their A game in terms of acting. You had Ray Garrity, Hank Olson, who you've seen in a couple of things. When you see him, I'll put him on the screen. But the real standout amongst all these really incredible performances truly was David Johnson. You'll know him from Alien Romulus, where he played a robot cyborg in that movie. And he stole that movie as a robot. But I would say in The Long Walk, he was a supporting actor, but he stole this movie. If they don't lobby for him to get an Oscar nomination, I just don't know. I can't think of a better supporting actor role that I've seen this year, movie-wise, than what he did. I left that movie rooting for him, caring about him, wanting to see him again. Just excellent. The acting, the way he just kind of tore at your heartstrings, made you feel for him. It was excellent. It was a masterclass in acting. The accent, you'll see it when you see the movie. I'm not really sure why he had that accent. He's British in real life. But he had very much a down-home Southern 1920s accent. Probably would have been better placed in Sinners, but that's fine. It was the role that he did. Go see the movie just for the acting. Just incredible. I can't say enough things. 2 out of 2, easy for that category. Moving on to the plot. I would say, again, I have not read the book, and I'm sure there's more detail in the book. Obviously, without giving any spoilers, you've seen the trailer. It's based on the idea that these young men have to walk a certain amount of miles, and when they stop, they get killed. That's not a spoiler. It's in the trailers. You just don't know why they're walking. And I would say the movie doesn't do the best job of telling you what the point of the walk is. Mark Hamill's character who plays the Major. Mark Hamill's in there, too. He did a good job. Doesn't really detail why this is the way it is. You just know that it is. It's very much like Big Brother is watching Fahrenheit type vibes. There's just this society and this government after the downfall of the war, and they're doing this to kind of boost morale. I don't really know how that works, but I would say from a plot standpoint, it's not as important as the acting. I would say they definitely had trouble publicizing this movie because it was hard to make good scenes in a trailer to kind of show you the human emotion and show you what this movie was actually about. Because the plot itself, it's light, it's loose, it's not that detailed. It's really about the acting. So I'd say from a plot standpoint, I'm gonna give it actually a 1 out of 2. Plot was loose. I needed a little more plot in terms of why they're doing the walk. It was very light. There were a couple of flashbacks with the main character where they showed his dad, again, was more like the Big Brother type. I'm going to show you all the books we can't read and all this kind of stuff, the thing they're not letting us do. But we don't really know why. So 1 out of 2. Again, wasn't a bad plot. It was nothing incredible. I would say from a production standpoint, it definitely served its purpose. It gave you that old-timey 1920s, 1930s feel of America in a small town as they're walking through all these towns, all these like old rundown just buildings and bridges and that they were walking across. Again, outside of the main characters that were walking, you don't see a lot of the rest of the world. Like on the side of the roads, you'd see a few people, but there wasn't a lot. So you're not even sure if this is like 1920s, 1930s, or if this is just a post-war, post-apocalyptic world where everything's reverted back to like before we had, sports cars and before we had all these like high-end finishes and all this kind of stuff. So that's never really made clear, but it looks like 1920s, 1930s. So I'm going with that. But so it looks like that. So production-wise, good job. I would say that the costumes were great. The vernacular and the accents were interesting because I wasn't really sure where they were supposed to be from. I am from the South, and some of the characters have this deep. And they're from all over. They're from all the 50 states, so I get that. So maybe that's why the accents were just kind of all a hodgepodge of everything. The most like stereotypical accents, I would say, from every single place. But again, overall, as I said at the beginning, the acting was amazing, so that wasn't their fault. Music, again, if it's not a musical, if it's not Wicked and it doesn't progress the story, if it wasn't overtly horrible, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 2. 2 out of 2! So right now we got a 2 for acting, we got a 1 for plot, we got a 2 for production, we got a 2 for music. So we're at what are we at right now, y'all? So 2, 4, 6, 7. We're at a 7. Overall, my final category, how did I enjoy this movie? I got into this a little bit with cast and crew, and I'm going to get into it here now. I think this movie is not getting a lot of notoriety, not getting a lot of buzz like it should. This is truly one of the best movies I've seen this year. Did I enjoy this movie? Absolutely. Was I completely emotional? I went with one of my friends to see this movie, and I literally was a wreck. Everyone in the theater was a wreck because there was so much happening in the movie. Obviously, young people are getting killed. That's the whole point of the movie, is when they stop walking. But it's not that simple, and you'll know what I mean when you see it. It's in the way that they show who they are as people and what they've gone through, and how these complete strangers become just like brothers, become best friends, and how they're supporting each other, knowing only one of them can win. And that was very emotional to watch, and I just didn't expect that, especially from this type of movie. And I just feel like that's not touted in the trailers. That's not the buzz anyone's talking about. Easily a 2 out of 2. Did I enjoy this movie from start to finish? Absolutely. I was on the edge of my seat. I was emotional. I was sweating. I was like holding back tears. It was an excellent movie. I can't say enough great things about this movie. The acting was just top notch. David Johnson, absolutely, who needs 100% to get a nomination. How do I lobby? Can someone see this video? If he's not up for at least, he may not get it, sure, but just an Oscar nom. I can't think of a better supporting actor for any movie that I've seen this year. As I'm thinking about it, I haven't left a movie feeling this connected to someone and what he's gone through. And that's, to me, the point of winning these awards, as you're taking someone through true emotion and taking them on a journey, and he did that. And again, he stole the movie for me. He deserves the Oscar, and I don't say that loosely, for Best Supporting Actor. This movie was excellent. Take a box of tissues, pee before the movie because you don't want to leave and miss anything. This was an excellent movie, and it's just unfortunate it's not getting a lot of notoriety, and it's not getting a lot of buzz, and we're kind of in a lull down period for the movie industry right now. And this is how it works, before the holiday season. This is always a low period every year. So I'd say you got a little free time. There's not a lot coming out for the next couple of weeks. Go see The Long Walk. I promise you will not regret it. Excellent movie. Prescription total 9 out of 10. A definite must see. Tell me what you think below. Tell me what I missed. Tell me what you liked about it. Tell me what you didn't like about it. And we'll go from there. Thanks.